So there comes a time in every YouTube channel's life where it must grow up and be mature. That lady's shaving her beard in traffic. Yep, not time to be mature yet. I'm sorry, maybe next time. I'm currently downtown DC around the Catholic Universities of America. Been out here working all day. It's time for some coffee, but figured today we talk about some fun stuff. It's not gonna be fun, it's really boring. It's newbie stuff, but like it's time to talk about it. I need to talk to my pastor about this whole religion thing. I might have to switch. These Catholics got money. I just got passed by a Bentley Bentayga. I just saw a Range Rover Autobiography. Yo, these Bamas got money. I'm not big into coffee. I'm not a big coffee person. However, there is like a weird one-off Starbucks reserve spot, and it's called Nitro Brew Coffee. I think basically they make coffee with seltzer water. Why hasn't anyone thought of this before? It's so good. This is so weird. Anyway, I want to shoot a video down here, but I gotta head back home. So we're gonna go back home, then we're gonna talk about beginner gun stuff. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I'm an idiot. I admit it. Yeah, I left DC like an hour and 45 minutes ago. I'm just now getting home. It's dark outside. I should have known better. I sat in traffic the entire time. It was a pain in the neck. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this. I am very fortunate that I can spend 90% of my day in t-shirts, black t-shirts. This is not a black t-shirt, so before anything happens, this has to change. I can't do this. Okay, cool. This just feels better. I like this. So I wanted to show you all this. I kept one of my very first, I don't know if you can see this, targets for when I bought a gun. This was at 7 yards. This is terrible. Look at this. Low and to the left and just all over the place. This is just embarrassing. Oh, let me explain something first. It's like storming outside, so if you hear like thunder and lightning, that's not my stomach, even though I'm hungry. That's just outside. Now, do keep in mind, if all the lights and power shut off, I'm just gonna start crying and go to bed. That's ridiculous. And I think what happened was Kentucky windage. I started to like aim up here and then I slowly got shots on target. And then, where's the top? A little bit better. Did I date it? And when I came across these, I realized one of the 3 questions I get a lot are, what mod should I make to my gun? Why am I shooting low and left? And what should my first gun be? So I wanted to answer those 3 questions for the newbies, for the new people who are new to shooting, who are want to get into shooting, and who want some more information on how to stop sucking. Because that's basically what this is all about, how to stop sucking. Okay, number 1, what gun should I get? I'm gonna get some hate, I'm gonna get some flack for this. Do not get an SD9 VE if you don't want to shoot like this. Now, you're asking yourself, why would someone want to shoot like this? Now, people may not necessarily want to shoot like this, but they may not care. If you need a gun for self-defense, you need to save your life, and you need it quickly, and you don't have enough money, honestly, to save up for a Glock M&P, this is a phenomenal option. Most self-defense situations and scenarios are within the distance where this is more than enough accuracy to handle your business. If you're taking a shot at 15 yards, there's most likely a better option. So, if you need a gun to save your life, this is a great option. If you need a gun that you want to get good and you want to learn how to really get good accuracy and really shoot well, this is not your gun. A lot of people say the SD9 is a phenomenal gun. It's a great gun if you change the trigger, if you change the springs, if you change the barrel, if you change recoil. I'm like, you can't change everything on the gun to make it a good gun. It's not a good gun. So, tip number 1 to get better at shooting is buy a good gun. The thought is you don't just want to own a firearm for self-defense. You don't just want to have a gun. There's nothing wrong with that, but you want to get a gun so that you can use it effectively and efficiently, and you want to get better at shooting. With that in mind, this is not the gun for you. So, first thing to do to become a better shooter, I need to stop saying if you suck. If you're not very good at shooting, is to make sure you're getting a good gun. So, SD9, it's not a good gun. M&P 2.0, 320, Glock 19, those are all phenomenal guns that you can get really good at shooting for less than 600 bucks. I should say something about the VP9 right now, but I'm just gonna leave that there. Cool. Number 2, trigger control, trigger control, trigger control. The biggest issue that I had with down and to the left was I didn't know how to press the trigger on the gun. What I had to learn was there's 3 parts to a trigger. There's the take up, all the part that the trigger is moving. There's the wall, which is the part where it's not moving back anymore. And then there's the brake. A good gun is gonna have those 3 areas very definitive. Let me get a good gun. Here we go. Bone stock Glock 17. We don't need this anymore. You all know how bad I was at shooting. We don't need evidence. So, when you have a good gun, you have a definitive take up, a wall where you feel it and it won't go back anymore, and then the brake. On a gun that's not very good, the trigger, you have your take up, and then you can still move the trigger without the gun going off. That's a bad trigger. On a good trigger, on a good gun, you want a wall and then add a little bit more pressure, and then it's gonna break. To get your shots to go where you want them to go, you're going to take up, you have your take up all your slack, and then you're just going to apply pressure. I like to think of when I'm shooting and I wanna take a really accurate shot, press till it breaks. Again, you want to press till it breaks. You don't want to hit your wall and then press it, and you don't want to push to one side or the other. When you see your shots going low and to the left, what's happening is you're not putting pressure directly back towards the trigger. So, I want you to think about a trigger that's just floating in the air. When you press the trigger, even if you're putting a little bit of pressure to the left or the right, that's going to be slightly pushing the gun one way or the other. So when you push the trigger a little bit to the left, you're getting your shots low and left. You want all of your pressure going directly back. You don't want your pressure going off to the side. You don't want your pressure going down. You want your pressure going directly back. If you do that super slowly, and don't let the gun surprise you, that's stupid, but super slowly, you're gonna feel the gun break, and if you do it dry fire enough, you're gonna feel when it breaks, and you're not gonna have to anticipate when the gun's going off. And if you do that slowly, super slowly when you're first starting out, you're gonna get those shots where you want to. I get asked a lot, how do I get better? How do I get better at shooting? The only way to get better at shooting is to shoot a lot of live rounds. Dry fire is great for mechanics, reloads, slide locks, things like that, pressing the gun out. But when it comes to bullets hitting your target, the only way you can get good at that is shooting a lot of rounds. So you're not gonna get around that. 3, okay, cool. So we talked about not buying a cheap gun and buying a good gun. The reason you wanna do that is because cheap guns aren't good for getting good at shooting. After that, we talked about trigger press. Remember, you wanna press the trigger straight back, and you wanna think press till the trigger breaks. Now, we have all those taken care of. Those are gonna be your fundamentals. Have a good gun, learn how to use a gun. There is a caveat to that, and this is something that I notice a lot of people doing. They try to usurp those 2 thoughts by modifying the heck out of their guns. So you'll see a lot of SD9s with trigger jobs, spring jobs, and a bunch of other stuff, and it doesn't make the inherent gun and functionality of the gun any better. I did all that to this gun. It actually made it worse. I changed the springs out, and then I got a lot of light hammer strikes. This trigger is weighted like it is for a reason. If you don't like the trigger on this gun, don't buy the gun. Then you come to the Glock, and you'll see a lot of people put aftermarket triggers in there, a lot of work on the springs and internals, because they haven't mastered that press, 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 break. So they're trying to work around that. If you suck at shooting, it's you, it's not your gun. Unless it is your gun. But if you're shooting a quality handgun and you're still not hitting your target, it's not because your gun's bad, you just suck at shooting. So you need to put in the time and effort to get good at shooting. Like I said, the only way you can get good at shooting is putting the rounds down range. And I'm not talking about a couple hundred rounds, I'm talking thousands of rounds. Now, it doesn't have to be over a whole month you shoot 6,000 rounds. It could be over a year, it could be over 2 years. But you can't expect buying something for this gun or any other quality gun to make you a better shot. So, buy a good gun that's going to set you up to win. 2, you gotta master the trigger press. You gotta learn how to press the trigger. And 3, you cannot expect your crazy agency salient alien gun to make up for the fact that you don't know how to press your trigger, you don't know how to find and acquire sights. That's all I wanted to cover on gun basics. I might go into that a little bit more, but those are the 3 things that if you master and that if you focus in on, you will get significantly better at shooting. Get a quality gun, learn how to press a trigger, and learn how to shoot the gun that you have properly and not relying on a bunch of aftermarket add-ons. If you can do that, when you get your Guccified Glock, you are going to be able to run that thing like a beast because you know what you're doing. So, it is still raining outside. I think the animals are lining up 2 by 2 at this point. So, I am done. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, interact. I'm so excited to be connecting with you guys on here. All right, talk to you later. If you know someone who sucks at shooting, send them this video and like they'll find out at the end that you think they're terrible at shooting.